Well, the thing is, the Gatwick is kind of like a national treasure. You know, like it actually is this amazingly unique place. There's nothing like it. The Gatwick is like a real piece of old St Kilda, and St Kilda has changed all around it. And I walk around St Kilda, and all these people who've moved in here in the last few years look at me like I'm some kind of outsider.
Yeah, like a weirdo. Yeah.
I think, I lived in St Kilda for 10 years. This is my territory. Not anymore, but you know, I think, how dare you give me the greasy eye?
Yeah.
Like in my day, like there was this, like the street culture, but you know, it was actually pretty under control. Like, you know, like people just did their thing, and then there was
it's got a territory.
Like everyone knew what was what. And
you don't go there because you get the hand wash.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Well, my name's Kate Holden, and I used to live at the Gatwick a long time ago, maybe I don't know, 12 years ago. Only very briefly for about a month, and to be honest, I had really happy memories of being in the Gatwick. I was having a really rough time. I was working as a street worker on the streets, and I had a heroin addiction and no money, and my life was falling apart. But the Gatwick actually was a place where I found some shelter. I had a new boyfriend, so we were pretty happy having found each other. And we used to go across the street and buy cream cakes and get into bed and eat cream cakes and read Alice in Wonderland to each other.
In here.
It was very romantic.
Honeymoon,
And we had the most fantastic room.
Very decadent, I like it.
Yeah, it was actually quite, you know, sweet. Even though everything else in my life was so awful. I think we used to come and have showers with us. We used to go in there, and my boyfriend would put all these candles and say, just have a bath.
Yeah, this is excellent.
It was lovely. My boyfriend was so kind to me. He'd come in and he'd clean it for me.
Yeah.
And then he'd light all the candles and put some oil in and stuff. And then just have a bath.
Nobody.
No one ever came this way.
Can you tell us a little bit about your book?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I had a really long journey on drugs. I was on heroin for 5 years, and then when I got clean, I had to fix my life up, you know, and start again. And I was doing a writing course. I decided to go back to studying, and when I was at the university, I started writing a book all about when I was a heroin addict and a prostitute, and it ended up getting published. It's called In My Skin, and I was really amazed because I didn't think anyone would read it or be interested in, you know, what had happened to me. But what I wanted to do when I wrote the book was talk about the people I'd met, you know, when I was on the street, when I was in rehab, when I was in the Gatwick and the boarding houses, the people I met in brothels and so on. And it turns out that people were really interested. And lots of people have read my book now, and I think it really, a lot of people come up and say that it really helped them understand what it's like how people do get into drugs, what happens when you do have like a really expensive habit, what do you have to do, you know, they have to think it through along with my character and what would you do to survive. I realised that people were scared of me. When I walked down the street, Fitzroy Street, I could see the nice people getting out of my way, and that's a terrible feeling, you know, when you think people are actually scared to talk to you. Well, I guess I was probably a bit like, don't mess with me.
Yes.
Do not mess with me. I'm at breaking point, and if anyone really gets on my goat, I'm going to go for it.
Yes.
Which is not like me at all, but you just get so stressed and so
desperate. I see ladies like that.
Just don't start.
Yeah.
When I was using, I kind of like my world closed down to fewer and fewer possibilities with every step. You know, I lost my job. Burned my bridges. I lost my friends. I got things up with my family, and so I had fewer and fewer options. And I was really aware that I was so humiliated that I didn't know how to appreciate people's kindness. You know, I thought they were pitying me when really what they were doing was loving me and being worried about me. But I thought that it was pity and revulsion, you know, I thought they were revolted by me. So then I'd keep out of the way, you know, and get further away from that. I could surprise myself so much. And I could be so much stronger than I thought I was. You know, I turned out to be a real tough cookie. And also weaker than I thought I could be. You know, I realised I could be quite a deceitful person, and I could lie and steal and cheat and all the rest of it. And I didn't think that was who I was at all. But when it comes down to it, you can do, you know, you're a whole other person inside you that you don't know. The way I ended up getting clean was a lot to do with the fact that I met a couple of people who said, no, there's lots of things you can do. And I was working night shift for about 3 years, so I never went outside during the day. And I had one friend who would make me get up like in the middle of the afternoon, even after only a couple of hours sleep, and say, let's just, thank you, let's just go to the park, you know, let's just look at the world, and take me to a gallery and like take me to a nice place to eat something. And I'd remember that actually the world was full of all this stuff that I had forgotten about. The reason why people end up so fucked on drugs and all the rest of it is because eventually it replaces everything else, because all the other good things drop away, and it's harder and harder to get back to the good things. And so the drugs just replace everything until it's the only idea of satisfaction you have.
Oh my God.
Satisfaction or love or comfort or anything. And so long as you've got your little needle, that's all you need in the world.
So have you been back to the Gatwick ever since you lived here?
Yeah, just once. I was just meeting my boyfriend that I used to live with here up in Fitzroy Street, and we met just outside the Gatwick, and then we said, hey, why don't we go in and have a look?
That's all right. You find your boyfriend.
Oh, we're just like, come on, let's just see. And so we went in, and actually we were walking along the corridor trying to remember which room it was, and Rose was in one of the rooms cleaning, and it turned out to be our room, and we said, can we just have a peek? She said, go for it. So we just walked around going, oh wow, it's actually more fantastic room than we had remembered. Before. We went and had a look at the bathroom and had a reminisce about having baths, and yeah, I mean, like nothing has changed, so it's like stepping back, 10 years in my life.